Okay. Hi, welcome to another episode of Paul on Power System Designs podcast on the latest in power and power design. I'm your host, Alex Paul, and I've got friend of the show, Peter Rogerson here from Power Integrations, and, we're going to talk about power, but in this case, USB. Well, isn't that really big right now?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been looking at rapid charging in lots of devices recently, and there seems to be some clear evidence that USB PD, USB-C is going to be the trend of the future. I mean, if you take a little glance at the past, it starts to show you why, which is, we've gone in the space of 16 years from linears with 50% efficiency pushing out a watt, right up here to the USB PD pushing out 20 watts at 87% efficiency. So this kind of trend we see moving on, but the sheer flexibility and general advantages of USB PD are something we really think is going to change the industry.
As manifested in the USB-C
exactly so.
System now.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I'll bounce forward in this just to remind me of the features and benefits, but let's run through the key features of this new device. It's very slim. It's not that big old bulky USB connector you're used to having on your machine. It's got different power capabilities, reversible plug orientation, that annoyance of never being able to get the thing in the right place at the right time. Dedicated channels for power delivery protocols, communicating between handsets and chargers and stuff like that, so they negotiate on power that's coming through, changing voltages, all that kind of stuff that we've looked at in the past with our InnoSwitch and Tri-103 devices for rapid charging. When you start to pair those devices with USB-D, you see that you can easily implement power delivery up to 100 watts through a USB PD protocol. Now, the thing we're actually at the show talking about today is a joint reference design we've done with Cypress Semiconductor. The reason for doing that is, of course, when you get into this stuff, you need to have a controller that can manage the protocols, is programmable and flexible. But the core and the trend underneath it all is what's going to be driven by the large movement to this new standard. In fact, I've got a piece of data here you might want to pick up on. This is from our friends at IHS in January, showing billions of units of USB Type-C projected by 2019. And we actually think this is probably quite conservative, and the vast majority of that being in the wireless telecoms market.
Well, and that's why I would agree with you that it's conservative, because there are application spaces that are going to be enabled by this that people haven't even foreseen.
Oh, absolutely. You can power monitors through this kind of cabling power. You can monitor potentially even small televisions. You can think of loads of household appliances that can run off effectively a DC rail in the house that's created through this USB Type-C environment. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I was in a hotel recently at Heathrow where behind the desk there was a UK socket, a US socket, and then a line of USB sockets. And I think that's something we're going to see more of and more applications.
I agree with you completely.
Yeah. So here we are early. There's now a reference design so that people who want to play with rapid charging through this protocol of smartphones can go and download the joint reference design with Cypress from our website and put it together, go play with it and have some fun.
Excellent. Now, of course, that's power.com is the website.
Power.com, absolutely.
Now, let's talk a little bit more about the power side then, because this is based on your InnoSwitch core technology, correct?
That's right, yeah. We launched InnoSwitch just over a year and a quarter ago, and the first device was for the charging market. Subsequently, we've added devices for embedded power, and then most recently, an InnoSwitch CP, which is constant power, which is the best device for rapid charging mixed with several of the rapid charging protocols that are available today, particularly Qualcomm's Quick Charge 3.0. Nice thing about InnoSwitch is that having got rid of the optocouplers by replacing them with the magneto-inductive secondary side control, which is very fast, very accurate, enables synchronous rectification, which is efficiency, which is removing the risks of shoot-through, which is cross-regulation. It's a wonderful core technology, and there are several videos about InnoSwitch on our website as well. Take a look. It's changed the way that switch mode power supplies work, and it's the future of that part of the device.
So you see USB-C as basically the de facto standard going for the foreseeable future forward?
Well, yes. If you can put an opinion forward like that, it just seems to have so many upsides that we see significant manufacturers, and I'll phrase this correctly, who are well known for producing their own cables, moving to this.
Excellent. So, you have any other final tips? I always like to let my guests have a final word before we close out the show. Do you have a final thing to leave our audience with? Could be a little bit more about the company or just a tip for the audience.
Well, one thing that's a bit of fun now is we produce a lot of video on our new devices. And we always used to subtitle that, but now it's in local language voiceover. So wherever you are in the world, take a look at those videos and see if they can get something across to you that we couldn't before.
Peter, thank you again for being on the show. And as you know, I'm always going to drag you into it next time I see you again. But
Thanks, Alex.
the pleasure's mine. And I'd like to thank everybody out there in the audience for taking the time to be with us. We wouldn't be here without you. Tell your friends. This is Alex Pault for Pault on Power. Have a great day.